I teased it in the weekend update. I put it in the community as well. I let you all know that I was working on these player cards, and well, they are ready. So let's talk about them. Today's video is going to focus just on these player cards that I developed for Islanders prospects. And I really like what I did here. Mainly it's kind of tuning my own horn, I suppose. But either way, I think they're really nice. And the reason I did these is because what I was showing before wasn't really nice. It's the visual medium, and I was using a not very good visual tool, right? Looking at these bars and columns and here's my Excel spreadsheet. Like, no, that's not a good visual medium or a visual aid on this visual medium that we call YouTube. So I developed something a little bit differently. And we're all familiar with the NHL franchise, the video games, and the HUD cards that they have, I think are excellent. And so I based my idea for Islanders prospects cards on that, right? When you look at them, they look pretty similar. Here's my card. Here's a basic NHL HUD card. It's kind of close, right? And so that's what I wanted to capture with these, while capturing, valuable information like, are they good offensively? Are they good defensively? Are they good at controlling the flow of play, which is really just shooting nowadays? What their overall rates are, kind of mimicking that NHL thing, their prospect pool rank, and NHLE. I've kept that in there as well. So let's look at a player card, for example, and talk about the various numbers that are on there and what they mean. The card I have here is Samuel Bolduc's card. It's the first one I picked up. It was just random, so it is what it is. But here's Samuel Bolduc's player card. First things first, NHLE top left. He's got 3. Now, if you're new to the channel, you might not know what NHLE is. But if you're not new to the channel, NHLE won't be new to you because I use it frequently. NHLE is essentially NHL estimated. And what that means is what it does, I should say, is that it'll take a player's production rate at whatever level, in whatever league, professional, amateur, anywhere, and essentially say what that would translate to at an NHL level. So if Samuel Bolduc has, I don't know exactly the numbers, but I think it's 5 points in some 52 games at the AHL level, that translates to a 3-point player at the NHL level. And so you'll see that fluctuate depending on the player based off their production, whatever league they play in, right? That's what NHLE stands for. And I feel like that's the really important number to have up top, because everything we've got below that kind of paints a picture of a player's skill set. But what does that really translate to at the NHL level? And that's what NHLE does, right? Now, before I get into breaking down the individual numbers and how I came up with that specific number, I should tell you where I got the data from, because I didn't mine it myself. I got it from pick224.com. They do an excellent job at just scraping a bunch of information for a ton of hockey leagues around the world and putting it in one place. And I have to thank them incredibly for having that data and letting me take it and use it. Now let's get into the actual numbers, like offense, defense, shooting. What does that actually mean outside of just what the header says? For offense, what I did is, with all that data from Pick224, I pulled percentiles. So for Samuel Bolduc, his offense is in the 48th percentile. And how I based offense is on their even strength primary points, so that's goals, and primary assists, so how many they generate, and their even strength goals for. So how many goals are scored by their team while they're on the ice at even strength. I put that together to pull out a percentile. Samuel Bolduc is 48. And I'll show some other examples a little bit further on. For defense, I did the same thing, but I flipped it. What I looked at is even strength goals against. So the number of goals scored against that team while that player is on the ice at even strength. Reversed. Because you want the lower number is better than the higher number. We're usually percentile. What it does is the higher number, the better, right? Not the case for defense. And so in Samuel Bolduc's case, he's the 27th percentile for all those players across all those leagues. Not great. Now there are 2 other data points here, overall and pool rank. For overall, what I did is, just like NHL, the video game franchise, I took all the percentile points for all the data points from Pick224, and I averaged it out, right? That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what I'm doing here to give you a decent overall. He's a 38 overall, so nothing crazy, right? Like, which fits, but we'll see where the overall isn't always perfect. And that's why I have NHL at the top to kind of even things out when the overall is just kind of like, maybe a little bit too high. Last one is pool rank, and that should be pretty obvious. His rank in the Islanders prospect pool, he is number 31, not really high. So you see here Williams Fulls card, NHL 17. Right away you're going, that seems low, and you're right. Over a full NHL season, his play this year would result in 17 points, or it would result in 17 points. That's not a lot considering what he does. Offense, 100. Makes a ton of sense. This kid is all offense all the time. Defense, 19. Not great, but that's just not his game. He's not a super strong defensive player. Fine defensively, but not super strong. Shooting, 96. Yeah, that makes sense, right? That's his game. Overall, though, is a 90. And you're saying, that seems pretty heckin' high. And it is. And that's why I've got pool rank and NHL there. Pool rank lets you know that while he is a 90 overall, there's still 10 players better than he is because the pool rank is based off NHL. And an NHL of 17 isn't something necessarily too crazy. And then you got Aatu Räty, right? More balanced player, performing at a higher caliber league and being equally impressive. 32-point NHL. Right away you're going, this is a 19-year-old and he's playing at a 32-point pace at what would be an NHL level. Excellent stuff. Offense, 90. Awesome. 70 defense, even better. Shooting, 80%. Oh my God. Overall, those only an 80. And you're going, well, that seems kind of low compared to where William Zufull was. Yeah, but again, pool rank, number two, and an NHL 32 makes you think that, okay, yes, it's an 80, but this kid is seriously better than what that number shows you. Now, why did I make these cards? Well, I like cards, right? Like, I love hockey cards. I have these here all the time. Like, I've got hockey cards, Pokemon cards, there are Magic cards right there. I love cards. I really just do. And I think this is a really good visual medium or visual aid to have in these discussions on this visual medium instead of just like, well, look at my spreadsheet here. It's just not as fun, and I thought these were a lot more fun and visually appealing. And so I'm going to use these on the channel for whenever I talk about a player, I'll bring up the card. I hope you like the cards. I really liked making them. I can't wait to keep using these in the channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit the button, please. And if you have already, thank you, thank you, thank you.